with positive and negative externalities. Today, we want to start thinking about, stop writing please. We continue with positive and negative externalities, which means there are costs that has to be paid for. There are benefits that has to be received in the course of producing goods and services. Production brings about cost and benefit. Benefit for consumers, cost for producers. But as soon as those costs is being transferred to consumers, then it becomes externality. As soon as the benefit is being transferred to consumers, it becomes externality, which is positive. Today, we want to focus on producing an extra unit of output, where we're going to know about marginal analysis. So I'll start. The difference between social cost and social benefit changes as the level of output changes. As soon as the level of output changes, there comes marginal analysis, which brings about marginal cost and marginal benefit. So what is marginal cost? Marginal cost is the cost of producing an extra unit of output. The marginal cost of production is likely to change as the output increases. I'm going to stop here first. Now we've stopped talking about cost and benefit. We start thinking about marginal, which is the cost of producing an extra unit of output. So as soon as we produce an extra unit of output, what happens to production cost? The cost of production would fall. Why? Because at the beginning, there's always efficiency. A firm would not think about producing an extra unit if it doesn't have the capacity to produce it. Get the point here? As soon as we start thinking about extra units, it means as soon as you as an individual, let's put it this way, as soon as you as an individual, you start thinking about doing extra thing, it means you have the capability to do it. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Great. So because you have the capability to do it, at that point in time that you start doing it, there will be efficiency because there's a will from you, there's a zeal from you, there's motivation, thank you, from you. So you start doing it. But it's going to get to a stage that you won't be able to meet up with that. Then you start incurring cost. So for firms, when they start producing extra unit of outputs, at first they will produce further. It will be because there's efficiency, there's availability, there's capability to do it. But it's going to get to a stage to meet up with the demand, to meet up with the welfare of consumers. You have to pay extra for producing more. You're not going to be the same, no matter how it is. That motivation will start dropping. Maybe you need to start paying for it. So firms that have used workers to produce extra units, they're going to get to a stage that they have to pay these workers. It's going to get to a stage that they have to increase their machinery. There's going to get to a stage they have to increase their raw materials. So they have to start paying for factors of production in the long run. So that is when the outputs, the cost, like I said, it will reduce due to efficiency and then it will increase as a result of firms having to pay for, example, higher prices of factors of production. So because we started increasing our output based on the fact that we have the capability, as soon as we cannot carry on with that capability, we have to start paying for the factors of production. What are factors of production? Resources that help in the production of goods and services. So if we start paying for them, that means we start incurring cost. So the marginal cost of production will start increasing. That's about marginal cost. Get it now. Marginal cost is the cost of producing an extra unit of output. At first, marginal cost would fall because there's efficiency. Afterwards, we have to start paying for the factors of production like labor, like machinery, raw materials. As soon as we start paying for that, the marginal cost of production would increase. That's about marginal cost. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
Great. Then we'll go to marginal benefits. For marginal benefit, this is the benefit of receipt from consuming an extra unit of output. For marginal benefits, as consumers, the production is done. This is production. Producing extra unit of output, marginal cost. Now, we consumers, we have to consume these products. Yes or no? Our consumption. As soon as we start consuming the products, consumption is basically demand. This is a bottled water. I drink this bottled water. I could still take another one. But the third one becomes, I don't think I will be able to continue with the third one immediately. So the benefit of taking this water, because I need it right now, is there. The second one is there. But going for the third one, I might not gain anything anymore. So the benefit starts dropping because you've consumed excess.
I don't understand.
You don't understand? Yes. Yes, sir. This is the benefit to see from consuming an extra unit of output. The benefit of taking this, it's just private benefit. But as soon as I take an extra bottle of water, that is marginal. So what happens afterwards? The marginal benefit of consumption falls as consumption increases. As soon as you continue to take extra, you're testing now. Let's say you're testing.
Oh,
you need to take water. Yeah, you won't need it anymore.
So it's a waste of money.
That is the point there. So when you consume first the second bottle, going to the third, you won't have the same satisfaction consuming the third as you consume the first. That is the point. So the marginal benefit of consumption increases at first, but starts reducing after consuming extra. It's the reverse here. For marginal cost, it falls at the beginning, then it starts increasing. For marginal benefit of consumption, it increases at first, then starts reducing. Do you get the difference between marginal cost and marginal benefits now?
Yeah.
Great. That takes us to how we gain our welfare as individuals. Most of the time, firms, what they do is production should bring about welfareism. And what is welfareism? We call it allocative and productive efficiency. So for productive efficiency and allocative efficiency to occur, it means consumers are beneficial to whatever decisions firms have taken. Consumers are beneficiary or benefit from whatever producers have produced. So, for the optimal level of production and consumption, I wrote, this is the graph that explains how the welfare is maximized. Welfare is maximized when marginal cost of production equals to marginal benefit of consumption. So, if we are producing extra units, that is production cost, then we should enjoy the same consumption benefit of that product. So if there's an extra unit produced, the extra consumed must have the same benefit. The cost must equal to the benefit. That is welfare gain. If I have produced an extra unit and you have consumed the extra unit, the cost and the benefit must be equal. If it is equal, then welfare is at optimal level, it is gained. So that is for production and consumption. Then it goes to what happens if production continues to increase. What happens if consumption has to increase? Then welfare starts getting to be lost.
What's welfare mean exactly?
Welfare means taking care of people. Allocative efficiency, being able to get what you need at a particular point in time. Being able to afford what you need at a particular point in time. That is welfare. So I needed 20 units. I'm able to get 20 units. That means our welfare is taken care of. I needed 20 units for this price and I'm able to get it at that price. This is welfare. So that is why we call welfare as productive efficiency, allocative efficiency. Productive efficiency means firms will be able to produce without incurring more cost. Allocative efficiency means consumers will be able to receive or get goods the quantity they needed. So welfare is taken care of. So welfare can be lost in production, welfare can be lost in consumption. Do you get it here? Welfare that we're talking about can be lost in production.
Flexibility, bimana.
What?
Welfare is your flexibility. You can do this and do that.
No, welfare is not about flexibility. Welfare is about satisfaction.
Of who? The customers or the
consumers and producers.
Oh, both. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why we said welfare is optimized if marginal cost of production equals to marginal benefit of consumption. We have produced extra units. You are able to consume the extra unit, but we have the same cost and benefits. It's welfare. That's fine. There's productive and allocative efficiency there. But when because we said there's productive efficiency, allocative efficiency, it means welfare can be lost in production. Welfare can be lost in consumption. So what brings about welfare loss in consumption and production? welfare losses with production. This will bring about externalities, negative externality, which is external cost. Therefore, marginal social cost of production is greater than marginal private cost of consumption. Marginal private cost of production. So here, producing extra units should give you marginal private cost. But when the marginal social cost is greater than the marginal private cost, then there's a problem. Because the society is paying more than what you are paying as the producer of that extra unit.
Did you say marginal private cost before?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, we didn't take marginal private, we took private cost.
Oh.
Private cost is the cost
It's the
to
same
the
thing
firm.
as marginal private cost.
No, marginal means extra. The word marginal is extra. So private cost is the cost to an individual, is the cost to a firm, is the cost to the government because you took that decision. But here we're talking about producing extra units. The cost you incurred producing extra units is
It's called marginal private.
marginal cost. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, if in the cost of producing extra units, the cost to the society is more than the cost you have to pay, then welfare is lost. That is when the marginal social cost of production is greater than the marginal private cost of production. Clear?
Yeah.
Then for consumption, welfare is lost in consumption. This will bring about negative externality again. Therefore, marginal social benefit of consumption is less than marginal private benefit of consumption. Now, the marginal social benefit, what the society will gain, is less than what you are gaining in terms of consumption, then welfare is lost. So welfare is lost in production when the marginal social cost of production is greater than the marginal private cost of production. Welfare is lost in consumption when the marginal social benefit is less than the marginal private benefit. Because we're talking about, welfare is about the society. And the society entails you that are producing the product and those that are consuming the product. So that means we all have to be satisfied, we all have to be happy. But if one party is happier than another, then welfare is lost. Especially if the society pays more, welfare is lost. When society gains less, welfare is lost. So put it this way, if the society pays more, welfare is lost. If the society gains less, welfare is lost.
Yeah.
Is it clear? So that's all about marginal cost and marginal benefit.
Can I write?
Yeah, sure, you can write.